And welcome to
the High as Fuck podcast with you boys.
Red Jackson
And his limited edition action figure, Jedi Joe motherfucking cool. What's up, y'all?
and we're here with another interview.
And we're here with another interview.
This year. We're gonna get down to real life here and talk to this man about
with a new guy.
Yeah.
Well, not a new guy, but a guy that I've never heard of.
Yeah.
But we go in green. I am interested to meet this gentleman and learn about his exploits in the world of wrestling.
Yes. Checking out some of his matches right now. We got him fighting Lee Moriarty right now. He's part of AEW. It's 4 years ago. But Christian Noir?
Christian Noir?
Noir? N-O-I-R. I mean,
it's like film noir.
Yeah, so
it should be like noir.
Yeah. So we got him on for tonight. Now, that's pretty exciting because, kind of been trying to talk to him for, I guess it's been about a year now or something. Been trying to get him on. And so here's one of the people that I had said in the future that we was going to have on the show. So this is that future person here that we're going to have. So, but anyway, so we're going to have him on soon, or whatever. And, I hope y'all enjoy this. We're going to send y'all down to
Southwick Plaza Tobacco and Vape.
Yep.
Cane Creek Shopping Center Tobacco and Vape. Yep. Nordan Shopping Center Tobacco and Vape Store.
The one beside Sheets now.
The one beside Sheets. The one in front of Hobby Lobby. All in Danville, Virginia.
Yeah, and there's one that still sells weed and weed vapes and stuff too. You get 6 grams for $50 or something.
Yeah.
So pretty cool. And then we'll send you over there to Lady Luck and Candace and Dustin's.
Follow us. Tiki Takis.
Follow us on TikTok, the Russ on Matt, and then
follow us
High as Fuck or whatever it's called
on the Matt artist, the social media formerly known as Twitter X.
Yeah. At High AF Pod. Yeah. So we got that.
Comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Tell us what you want us to watch and review and talk about.
Exactly. And, but anyway, so, like I said, we're going to jump back into these interviews. We've actually gotten, this is so far makes our second one for this year, starting off good. So, and we had a interview go out the ending of last month, and we'll have this one go out. I don't know when I wanted to go out, but probably middle of the month, maybe. So that other one gets some time to, actually breathe. But yeah, was there anyone else we got to send you on down to? I don't know. But this is the High as Fuck on the fly wrestling interviews. So we're going to, it's not really going to be on the fly, but I like the name of it. So on the fly pod or on the fly interview, whatever. But anyway, we got Christian Noir on. Creepy, demonic man. As you see in the thumbnail here, very terrifying.
I'm curious about his gimmick and knowing more about what Christian Noir is as a character.
Yeah, kind of like when we dove in with Zombie Dragon, something that's that deep into it and everything. Mm-hmm. So that's gonna be a cool deal to do as well.
Ooh, that was a beautiful.
So I think that'd be awesome to do. I mean, just to have, just to have him on is just gonna be great. So, of course, it's a great month anyway. So, but anyway, so we do have quite a few more that we're going to be getting on in the future as well. But this is the one. This is one of the ones. I was like, I ain't going to be saying names. This is the one. So anyway, we're going to get him on. And just after these few messages, I'm just playing. But, so it's going to be a banger. I'm hoping for a banger interview at the moment. That's what I'm looking forward to. So, yeah. So, Like and subscribe. Notification bell.
Hit that notification bell.
Go look them up on
Comment.
YouTube.
Go watch
Christian Noir's
matches.
Noir.
Noir.
I'm probably pronouncing it wrong.
Noir.
Because it's one of those words. It's just like, I don't know. We got him versus Cowpoke Paul. You had indie wrestling. You have Malachi, or was that Malachi Gage and all that. So I mean, it's kind of hard to find them, I guess, because of the you know what I'm saying. Damn, maybe not. You don't know what I'm saying. I don't know, because I guess it's hard to find some of his matches, but they're out there. There's some of them. I've seen 3 so far, but they're out there. You have to look for it. Rise, some company called Rise something wrestling.
RYSE Rise.
Yeah. So Rise Wrestling and all that. So go check out that stuff and go, do your thing. And yeah.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns making TNA appearance. When did that happen? It's fake. I don't know. And is this Uncle Howdy over here debuting on somewhere? I don't know. Anyway, we're going to have Christian Noir on in a minute. Like and subscribe. And we have Christian. Now, how do we pronounce the last name here properly?
Yeah, last name is just Noir.
Noir? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was Noir or something like that.
Yeah, it's like, I never, it was guys, like, when I thought it said, it's always just been Noir, then, like, didn't know people, like, would pronounce it differently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the name and stuff like that. So, but yeah, so we've got them on tonight, guys, and we're gonna like we said, we're gonna get some interviews in, and we're gonna dive into Mr. Christian Noir's life, or Noir. I keep saying it wrong. Sorry about that.
No, you're fine. Yeah, you're fine.
And hopefully we have a fun podcast here.
Yeah.
So, we'll start off with just your day to day, I guess. How was your day today?
Day to day or just today?
I guess either way. Yeah. I had something in my head like that, like something around there. I guess day
to day. I'm a night shift person, so like my day is just kind of like all over the place. So like, let's say I wake up at maybe like I'll nap randomly during the day, but most of the time I'm up at like say like 11 at night. Go to the gym for like a good hour and a half, workout. I do skating, so
cool.
I'll skate around in the wee hours of the morning.
You're a big fellow to be skateboarding.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess it's just a me thing. Like, I don't know. It's like when you see a massive guy on a skateboard, or something about it.
Yeah, it is kind of weird to see like someone like 220 pounds just like skating around.
Yeah, because you're chiseled, so you got some muscular tone there.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
thank
so
you.
like you've got what you see on, I guess that work ethic you would see like normally on a TV show, or like on the big time. So I really see that all for you as well. But yeah, you're sorry about that. Day to day.
Yeah, so skate around for a bit. I also make costumes, so I'll work on stuff like that, like Mandalorian armor. I make that, so I'll cut off some time.
Oh, wow.
Do all that. And just kind of just fall. Maybe just randomly fall asleep during the day. Maybe some Xbox. Work on mute, because I do a lot of like video editing and music editing for a lot of people. So I work on that. And might try to hang out, party a bit, and kind of really just kind of let kind of how the day just falls into play.
Love that.
But so yeah, I'm just kind of all over the place.
That's awesome to be. That's kind of like I am. I like to just do a lot of stuff as well and keep the mind, working and stuff.
So, Christian, I have been with Matt sitting down for the last little bit. He's been talking about your work for a little while. And for the last few hours, we've been sitting down just kind of watching some of your tape. And I'm curious about just how Christian Noir, the gimmick, the character, like how did the current iteration evolve over time? And how comparatively is he compared to your normal, daily persona? We talk about people like Stone Cold Steve Austin or The Rock or Triple H, Shawn Michaels, who are all themselves turned up to like tenfold.
You're forgetting one,
and then
one
we have
important one, John Cena.
CM Punk, John Cena, all of them, right? They're all just themselves. But your gimmick, and this, you can, correct me if I'm wrong, but your gimmick seems a little more, less than like a normal person and more gimmick, right?
Yeah, it's got the character.
It's got the character development,
stuff,
background and darkness,
which I hate to compare anybody.
Which I love, I love it. So just kind of tell me about your character and the development of your character and where, how that aligns with you as a person too.
I gotta say before you do get into that, the dreadlocks and the paint was the best look of that. That was killer.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I kind of took a gamble on that because I started growing a mohawk out, and I was like, man, I do not want to just. Because I'm like, dude, just like kind of just like as a black dude, just having like black dude hair, just kind of like,
yeah,
just, it doesn't match as well with like say like a white guy with just like their hair hanging down. Yeah. I was like, I gotta do something about this. It was like I can't come out here like hair looking a mess. So
yeah, I love the dreadlocks. Is that what you're doing currently? Is the dreadlocks?
Yeah.
Okay. Because watching all these matches, like you kind of get, on the time period and stuff, you get kind of mixed up. So that's awesome. That's like the best right there. When I saw you with those dreadlocks, and you have a mask too that goes on the bottom half sometimes.
Oh yeah, I'm a big mask person. Like
that's what he's gonna get into because he has a lot of different looks. The scarecrow look, So
yeah, I'm curious.
Very interesting.
To hear the development that he's getting ready to get into about this.
A year in the making right here. So I can't wait.
No, you're fine. Actually, when I actually started out, no joke, I actually wanted to be like if you would have told me I would have been doing this Christian War like voodoo character when I first started, I would have looked at you like you were crazy. Like when I initially started, no joke, I wanted to be a luchador who called himself the Piranha. No joke.
I love it.
I had a mask custom made. I was going to be from the Amazon River, weighing in at like 20 bales of fish. Like I had this dead set in my mind, but my coaches were like, "Nah, you have two good facials," and I was like, "Well, what do I do?" So, terrible enough, they threw me with one of my friends who was doing a fitness guru gimmick.
Oh Lord!
Because it was terrible. Like I love the guy, but
I don't know Josh Fallon, was it? He was talking about
say what was that?
No, Josh Fallon, was it?
Oh God, no.
I love how everybody we've talked to is connected, bro. Every one of y'all have known the other man. I swear to God.
It's really a small world of it, man. It's a small world of it. But yeah, it was terrible, man. I was a fitness guru. I was just, and I get like during those times you can't push everybody at once. So I was kind of like the lackey guy, and like I came out doing jumping jacks. It was, I just started, so I was like, I guess this is what I do. But in all my matches, I was taking the pins. I was the one getting beat up. I was getting frustrated, and then the booker was like, "Okay, so we're gonna switch your gimmick up." I was like, "Cool. What are we gonna do?" He was like, "All right, during the pre-show, you're going to get a tag dragged off, and an hour later, you're going to come back, split personality character." He was like, "You get no promo, nothing. You get no build up to it, and you go make this work."
Wow.
And it was like, it was terrible.
That's an awful pitch of a thing, and you're like, "Oh Jesus, what the fuck am I gonna do with my life right now?"
Court Montgomery was thrown in. He said it to my face. I was thrown in too early. He just saw something in me and threw me in. I said I was good enough.
So eventually, I got real frustrated because even though I was like still green, I was like, yeah, I can't do this. Like this is terrible. So I kind of just sat out for a couple months. And then I came back with the idea of Christian. At the time, it was Christian Black, but then I realized so many people use the last name Black. But I came back. I was like, I want to do this. I was like, because I came with the name Christian for two reasons. The name Christian, one was my childhood best friend. I never saw him ever again. I don't know what happened to him, but another reason I came up with Christian Black was because I was raised in a very, very Christian household, like growing up. And my grandma was like a religious tyrant. Like, I would ask my grandma questions, and, my grandma would, she would yell at me, she would hit me, and she would, you need to stop asking questions, you didn't have faith. And I was like, Grandma, I understand that, but I was like, can I, yes, I was like, well, can I just have some answers? And she's like, to my face, she was like, you're like the black sheep. She's like, you're the black sheep of Christianity.
Wow.
So.
As a child, man.
Ooh.
Oh, for sure. It was heavy. So, that's where I came with Christian Black / Noir. So I was like, oh, okay. And I just switched it to Noir because, I built myself from Louisiana and all that.
And Noir, that means what?
That just means black in French.
Oh, okay, that's what I was figuring.
And it's an old film genre of the black and white
right.
film
okay,
noir.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I've seen this word, and I'm like, I've heard it pronounced so many weird ways. So
yeah.
So
yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, so when I started doing the noir thing, it was a rocky start, but the bookers did not like it. A lot of the management did not like it. They were like, I don't get it. You're just against pain in space. And, they booked me against guys, they kind of booked me to fail because they wanted me to give up on it and go back to doing the dumb shit they wanted me to do. Yeah. But I just kept pushing, I made the best out of the situation they got me, and the character got over because the character got over, my wrestling got over, and it was like, hey, I can do this. And then when they saw it started to get over, then they want to be like, oh, we're behind it, and they want to be like, oh, I have some advice for it. And I understand it being green, I had to you listen to the advice, but I still felt some type of way, no, you guys wanted this to fail from the very beginning, and now that I'm making it work, now you want a piece of that pie.
Yeah, doesn't make no sense.
No, they act like they wanted to be a part of it from the beginning. After it started, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was definitely fucked. But I just kind of looked at it. I was like, you know what? I just looked at them. I just, nodded my head. I was like, okay. I was like, but I'm gonna keep doing this the way I want to do it. I'm like, I'm gonna evolve this character the way I want to do it. I know y'all say y'all saw a bunch of my masks. Yeah. Some of them are some of them are bought, some of them are custom made. But early in my career, I still have them. I'm sitting in my room and I have them all laid out on stands. I made a lot of my masks because when I was initially started wrestling, I was broke, and I was going online trying to find something, and it was oh, we want $200. I was like, $200, man, the hell with that. I'll make it myself.
Yeah.
And I think even when I was with the whole scarecrow, when I was real deep into the scarecrow thing, it kind of fit because everything looked crudely handmade, and it really gave it that look to it.
Yeah. Hell yeah, man.
I love the beauty and creativity of the world, like just the world of professional wrestling, like and how like you talk all the time. Every time Bianca has a match about creating her own outfits.
Yeah.
And I love
every time she comes out,
like that.
I want to make sure people knows that
of the world of professional wrestling and understanding that these people not just athletic and out here throwing their bodies on the line.
Yeah.
But
they're investing in
themselves, creating these beautiful gimmicks and characters that we don't even truly think about. I mean, we see it on TV, but like really, like the intricacies that go into the gimmick, like the background on Christian Noir and the Christian part of the Christian Noir. Like to me, that's such depth of storyline. It's beautiful.
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. It is. If you got a good, presence, good character, and you have, you have that, they call it the it factor or whatever. But like, yeah, you can go pretty far with that, So
I appreciate that.
You're welcome, man. I know it's like a lot of guys that do the face paint and all that, but like, if you thought about it, like if you got picked up from AEW or something like that, there's guys right there that you would just like fit in with and just look, like y'all are a team forever, shit like that. But but then again, that's going the whole two people face paint deal,
Right.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of fantasy booking I be doing in my head, man. And sometimes I'm right, I was right about Billy Starks.
Hey, Billy. Hey, there you go.
I was right about her the whole time. We were supposed to get her on the show last year, September 12th.
Yeah.
And as soon as it came time to do the interview, she was booked by damn Tony Khan.
And that man. The man, Tony.
So, but anyway,
waiting for you to. I've asked some questions. It's your turn to ask questions.
Oh well, I mean, shoot,
I've got more, but I'm gonna
wait.
So.
Yeah. Well, anyway, with speaking of that right there, where is somewhere that you're looking forward to just being just that phone call, that phone rings, and you get on the phone and it's that company.
It's been a good while since I put like some real thought into that. Honestly, I would, I would say WWE. I could say WWE. A side of me always loved Impact, but TNA now.
Yeah.
But I feel with the way AEW is very open to giving people a chance and the way their audience is, I would, if AEW gave me a call, I would be more than ecstatic because I think my whole thing would just be, just give me a chance. I don't care what you do. Like, just give me one chance to go out there and show you what I can bring.
Yes. I know you got it. I know you got that. I know you got that. Man,
thank you.
I've seen your matches. I mean, you're good, man. You got a great, like I said earlier, a good physique and good everything. You have tools that a lot of people are don't have, So some things hold you back, but with a nice look and a nice thing, you know what I'm talking about. That right there gets you back. Like shit, when Jinder Mahal got returned back, I mean, it was because of his damn physique. Mm-hmm. It was his chest.
Yeah, he came back ripped, and I was like, damn, Jinder Hall, I'm sorry for every negative thing I might have said about you in the past.
It was funny. As the night he returned, I was watching wrestling the next night, the Tuesday night after he returned and had his match. I was watching wrestling with my parents. My mom and dad were like, "Who is this guy?" And I was like, "Well, that would make sense. Y'all have been watching with me for the last, since he's been gone, and, we haven't seen him in a long time."
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
But yeah, he's ripped, dude. And the same thing with Drew McIntyre as well. So, I mean, I'm just saying,
Yeah, all it needs now is Heath Slater to come back like absolutely jacked, and it'd be perfect.
Yeah, oh my God. I'm saying the same things over here. I love some Heath Slater.
Yeah, all our little boys are growing
And
up.
Dolph Ziggler too, man. Yeah, boy. Yeah, now Nick Nemeth, Dolph Ziggler, what do you call him? He's actually going to get a shot. He's going to actually get a fucking, big time push coming up.
Yeah, now he has that more freedom, and like it's surprising what a lot of people could do with just like the freedom.
And the tiniest bit of it too. Because I know TNA's got rules and stuff. They don't think they're that lenient as AEW is, but I mean,
yeah, they're like a good middle ground of like WWE strict and like AEW lenient. They're like right in the middle.
Okay, I got another one for you too as well, because I don't know if you just answered that question or not. But have you ever had like a dark match on like Raw, SmackDown?
I have not actually.
That is surprising, man.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, that's surprising, dude.
Yeah, never done a dark match. Not yeah. And like I've always wanted to, but I'm not like holding like a grudge against companies. Like it was like damn you for never giving me a chance. But there's a time will come. There will be a time.
And it seems like there's enough work to be done on the independent scene that it is open to be able to make enough money to survive.
Oh yeah, because I know you hear the stories back then about guys saying like maybe like
working for
early
a hot
2000
dog and
independence.
Yeah,
hot dog and a handshake.
Yup. You hear guys like I was able to make enough to survive on the indies, and like guys would maybe do that for a few years, but now it's like guys can like not sign like major contracts
signed, which is nice.
Yeah, like not to like you said just to like not be signed like anywhere major, but like able to like pay their car, take care of their families, take care of the house, and still be like on the independence. Like that's that's a dream. That's like the dream. I mean, it's going. I mean, the only thing that kind of
it's the working man's professional wrestling. I mean, that's really at that point what it is. Like the independent scene is where you go when you're the normal blue collar working man in the wrestling scene, and then if you get WWE, you get AEW, then you've got a nice cushy office job.
Yeah,
essentially is what it really amounts to.
Yeah,
in the world.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I guess it's not that bad to be on the indies anyway. So I mean, there's so much talent out there that looks at differently, obviously. But
because definitely the indies is way more lively than it used to be.
Oh my god! Yeah.
Because like basically you turn, and next there's another promotion, and now with the social media presence greater than this one has ever been.
Oh,
it's no reason like you can't like some guy can't be seen or like you said make a living on the indies.
Yeah, and there's no way you can't say I'm not getting booked either.
There's enough companies.
You would think so, right? But then you got people that don't get booked a lot. But I mean, that might be the effort that they put towards getting booked. That too.
There's so many factors, and like if there's one thing I learned in wrestling throughout my years, it's there are good people, there are great wrestlers who get overlooked and don't get booked, and there's people who are not good, and yet they'll get booked up left and right. Wrestling, I always tell like me and my one from conversation we have, wrestling is the most unfair, most questionable thing there is.
I could see that.
Yeah.
So, actually, Matt brought up a good point, and I didn't want to make it about this, but we did, last year we did interviews during Black History Month. And that is kind of a good segue into often, throughout Black History Month.
Because we did this
I asked when we did the Gentlemen of the African American Descent, what controversy, what backlash, what issues, or how have you found your and this ties into the culture of professional wrestling too. Just as an African American in professional wrestling, and the cultures of professional wrestling around different places in different independent circuit and in other countries, whatever that you've done, and just the culture of professional wrestling, and then your experience as an African American gentleman in the world of professional wrestling.
Man, the African American in wrestling, like, I feel like as much as people try to be like, wrestling's a very equal playing ground and all that, but I feel like, every now and then we'll feel, or like, you see certain things are taken racially, or sometimes like you feel like because maybe you're like the few in the locker room.
Yeah.
You might be looked at different or treated different. Like one thing I don't like in professional wrestling, like when it comes to like black people, like when the African American thing, they don't really do it anymore, but it makes you see back in the day, like the whole, like I have to be like a whole hip hop angle kind of thing.
Right.
I like that's one thing that's always stuck with me. It's one thing I never wanted to do because I never want to be like, oh, I'm gonna go out there and be like, I don't want, like, you're not gonna make me go out there and act like how somehow like some of how America would view me as a black person to be.
Yeah, and that's so terrible. Right
it's the racism that is intrinsic in the system, that was intrinsic in the system from the beginning of time, that really just, it's like the caricatures of African Americans that we see in our history of just the stupidity. We do it in pop culture now too, and that's a sad commentary on the world.
Very, very much.
Because I like you know what, to be honest, so seeing a black guy or African American rather, do what you would say would be a white guy's gimmick, would be the whole makeup and the whole Sting and the whole Darby Allin and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
And it gets stereotyped that. But some of the best, I'm talking about some of the best ones were black, man. Okay? The Boogeyman.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No fucking said.
Right.
Oh yeah, because even when I do my face paint, like and I kind of take from like the cultures of like Louisiana about the voodoo, the hoodoo, and all that,
like the Papa Shango.
Yup. And so I take, and like even with like a lot, even though throughout the years of my gimmick, I've always based my thing off of like fear, because I was a big thing of Scarecrow from Batman.
Yeah.
So it's like, if this is what you're scared of, then I'm gonna bring it to your face. You're like I'm gonna make you realize, okay, this is what you're really afraid of.
In one of your matches that the commentators said, they said his whole ring presence is based in fear. If he can make you fear him, or something like that. And I was like, I wrote that down as a note that they said, and I was like, I want to ask him about that. So you're getting ready to go into it, so I'm interested to hear this story too.
Yeah, I got into the whole fear thing, like when I was still trying to figure out like who I was, because I always had a thing with scarecrows. I always loved scarecrows, and Scarecrow was my favorite Batman villain. And because I'm only a whopping 5'8", so like I was like, yeah, I may be like a physically strong person, but I'm 5'8". There's like guys taller than me. I was like, well, what? I was like, and Scarecrow was like a string bean. I was like, but yeah, he was one of the most feared villains.
Yes.
Yep. So I was like, well, what did Scarecrow do? Scarecrow got in their minds. So that's when it started to get to me. I was like, oh, like mind games. So that's where I really got the whole fear thing from. Scarecrow, the Scarecrow style mask, the the face paint that goes with it. And, even like when I'll cut promos and I'll talk about, I used to, like, when I just started doing the fear thing, I would like look at people and actually look at their, like, figure out their real insecurities, and I would actually use that against them in promos.
Oh.
like my one friend was like, "Hey, yo, man," they posted. I was like, "I didn't know you do that about me," and I was like, "Oh shit, my bad. I didn't actually know." Meanwhile, I actually did do, but I was like, "Oh shit, I'm doing a little bit I'm doing a little bit too good at this."
Yeah.
Like even,
Wow. See,
even like even when I do like the black mist or like all the black drool coming out of my mouth, and then sticking my long tongue all the way out. It's all about fear, like things you're not normally seeing. Because like I know, like we all know wrestling is not, it's work, whatever.
Yeah.
But making people believe for half a second, where it's like,
yes, disbelief.
If I can suspend my disbelief enough to believe that you are what you say you are, just a second, then you're doing your job.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like especially when people will come up to me, they see like they'll get close to me, and I'll do like the whole black drool thing during my entrance. People always wonder, what is that? They're like, what is that? How is that possible? How is his tongue pitch black? And why do his teeth look so rotten?
Yeah, because you did paint your fucking tongue. That's fucking creepy, dude.
Oh, for sure. I remember, whenever fans would try to shake my hand, which I always tell fans, like, look at me. Why would you try to shake my hand? I would just like lick the back. I would just start licking people like the back of people's hands.
I love it. That's the greatest shit. Like living that gimmick, dude. Yes. That's dope. I love it.
Another thing is, what was I gonna say, man? I just lost it. But
No. Okay, so
Matt was.
Is it okay to ask you how you do your tongue? Because we talked to a guy named Slinky over there in Germany, and he paints his teeth with fingernail polish. Black fingernail polish.
It's actually I usually use the charcoal stuff like for like your teeth.
Oh, okay. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Something simple, just like George Steele.
Yep. Yeah, just real simple. Nothing. Yeah, real simple. Nothing crazy.
It changes to like blue or green or something like that, and George Steele would come out.
Yeah.
With his little stuffed animal.
I was actually gonna ask about
I go hardcore with them.
Black, and I've always been mesmerized by since Tajiri did it, since now that Shinsuke does it, Zombie Dragon did it, what's Asuka does it, everybody, Muda did it,
he's
the Mist,
I believe.
Have you ever used a black mist?
Black is actually the main one that I use, actually. I mainly use this black mist because, it fits the whole, me with the whole black stuff coming out of my mouth. And I know, there's the lore of black mist. Like, technically, black mist is supposed to leave you blind for several weeks.
Yeah. Wow.
But I've done orange, yellow, blue, green, red. I did pink one time.
How do you keep it in your mouth? Muda has always mesmerized me, and Tajiri as well, because I feel like I've seen their mouth open and all that during the match before they do it.
I'm gonna have to keep that secret to myself, but I will say, I will tell you this.
I got shut down.
The guys, we do not keep it in our mouths the entire match. I will say that.
Okay.
All
right.
Okay.
Thanks for that. That's awesome.
But I
figured I was going to get no secret out of that.
But I will say, one time,
the Zombie Dragon didn't tell us either.
There was one time it was me, Promise Braxton. She wrestles down at down at Booker T's Promotions. Right now she's touring in Japan, and Lee Moriarty.
Yes, that match was phenomenal.
That match.
I love some Lee Moriarty as well. That was a good one.
Oh yeah, love the guy. Homie's my best friend against his will. We were, I had to do a spot where I had to go spit mist on him and cost him his match. But I was like, you know what? Let me F with Lee because it'll be hilarious to me. So I come out to the ring, and normally I'll do like one thing of mist, but I took 6 things of mist in my mouth, and it was to the point where it was leaking out of my mouth. I could not hold it. It was about to explode.
Oh,
I was drooling. It was too much. and Promise Braxton gets in my face. She's like, "Oh, you coming to interrupt the match?" I shove her to the side. I didn't even miss that, Lee, because there was so much. Lee thought I was going to pull my mask up. Lee didn't know that I can unzip the front and it opens like a regular mouth. I went to go spit, but there was too much, so basically I just threw up green shit all over him. Like, it was head, stomach. It looked like someone just dumped like Nickelodeon slime on him, and Promise looked at him. She did not want to touch him, so she gave him like the daintiest schoolboy. And I go to the back, I'm cracking up. Lee's coming to the back. He's like, "How many did you use?" I was like, "Lee, I just used one." He's like, "Boy," and Lee never swears. He's like, "Bullshit, you used one." I was like, "Bullshit." And someone came past and was like, "Dude, what the hell, come on you or something? What's going on, Lee?"
Oh wow, man. That's
I
cool.
swear, I think I have the picture somewhere in my phone, and I still think it's hilarious to this day.
That's just awesome. Just that moment with Lee Moriarty, or just that moment in general, I don't know. His work's really good on AEW. See, there you go. There's your connection right there, man.
Show up at AEW, just throw up on Lee.
Yeah, yes. We can replay.
Remember that time I threw up on you? Let's do that again.
Remember the time.
Show up I was like, "Hey, Lee, look, they let me in the building. Oh, by the way."
Yes. See, maybe that can happen. Lee Moriarty, you get that phone call. You get to face him on Dynamite or Collision. We'll get you on Collision because that's where we want you. Because Collision is the show to watch, man. I love Collision. That shit is a banger. Even
for sure.
Yes, Jim Cornette.
I would definitely love to wrestle him again. I haven't seen him in years since he moved out.
That would be dope. Just because of how much he's grown as well as a talent.
Oh.
And
absolutely.
He's friends with Danhausen and all that.
Mm-hmm.
There's a dream match right there.
I'd definitely work Danhausen for sure.
Lee Moriarty and
like Danhausen gets
Noir.
dominated all the fucking time. Sometimes it's bad booking on his
triple threat: Lee Moriarty, Christian Noir, and Danhausen.
Yes, because you gotta have Danhausen and everything.
Absolutely,
he's a gift to wrestling. He really is. He is a certified gift.
For sure. Like when Danhausen wrestles, it's good. Like, I think people get lost within his gimmick, but
I definitely get lost in his gimmick. I do.
I really think that's his real face and everything.
I can't see him for wrestling. I can't see him for who he is because I get so lost in the Danhausen gimmick, and it's too over the top for me. And so, yes, he's a good worker, and I will give him that. But I can't. I get burned out on his entertainment.
Hey, and that's perfectly fine.
It's
like I said, I think, and that's the beauty with wrestling. Different stroke for different folks.
Yeah, I think he's just too entertaining, and I love him, and I can't get enough of the man. He don't know things, because he's not from the world. It's awesome shit, man.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
So, I like to talk about, and your character plays into the psychology of professional wrestling. So what, if I say, we'll play some word association. If I say psychology and professional wrestling in the same sentence together, what does that mean for you? And
psychology wrestling.
It can go back to fear. I mean, obviously, because that's part of your whole thing. But I'm just curious.
So, when it comes to me in psychology wrestling, psychology is what I put the most emphasis on. Make it, as me and my friend Promise say, make it make sense. For me, as a scary character, I understand that I would want people to be intimidated by me maybe be like weirded out, but at the same time, I don't want somebody to like flat out run away. Because at the end of the day, and like to me, psychology was like, hey, you're still a trained professional. You still know how to fight. Right. Or like, let's not do moves for the sake of doing moves. Now, sometimes we'll go a little crazy, but like, hey, let's make it make sense. If you're bigger than me and I actually can pick up and slam you, let's build up to that. Let's do things so there's a good story to tell. Like, if your finisher's like an arm bar, let's work the arm the entire match. Or even with fear, let me psychologically get in your head at the beginning of the match. And then, like, what I like to do, like, in my match is, I'll try to instill fear. I'll try to do all the scary shit in the very beginning and throughout, like, the heat and all that. But, like, as the match goes on, the scary stuff starts to go away because I realize it's not working. They're lasting longer in the match than I would hope they would. Especially if I'm wrestling for, like, 20 minutes. I'm like, oh, shit, like 50 minutes have gone by. All my scary stuff isn't working. I'm like, oh God. And it's like, then you start to see the look on my face of concern, worry. So like things like that where it will make sense, at least to me.
Totally makes sense. I like that. Yeah. The arc of the storyline there of like understanding that, okay, the pomp and circumstance, the gimmick didn't work. Now what do I do? I like that.
Yeah, and I was like, well, damn, now I actually got to wrestle. So, like I said, I'm not, the tallest guy. So, when I'm wrestling people who are bigger than me, it's a lot of, okay, let me get in your mind to break you down to my level. And if I see, like, you're not breaking down to that level, it's like, okay, the gimmicks, the tricks didn't work. Now I got to wrestle. But I'll still not let go of, like, the core of who I am as Christian Noir. Like, there will still be that there. It's just that as more and more the match goes on, I'm coming more into the reality of the situation.
Yeah. That makes sense for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's your inspiration getting into wrestling and the whole shebang? Maybe it was a moment, maybe it was a person, I don't know.
Oh wait, what was that again? Sorry.
Oh, sorry about that. Who's your main inspiration, or was it a moment in time that happened that was like, oh, I'm doing wrestling? I like to hit on this a whole lot because it's a childhood, like childhood sometimes. Like,
I would say two things maybe really fall in love with wrestling. Maybe I want to do this. One, it was X-Pac being being the hype man of DX, and him just going absolutely crazy, like doing the DX chop, jumping up and down. I was like, this dude has so much energy. I was like, this is awesome. This is sick. And I would do it, and my mom would hit me and be like, don't do that. I'd be like, but why? Do you know what that means? No, but then she never told me what it means after she hit me, and then I asked, "Well, what does it mean?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna keep doing it." Like, and then I would run around, a little kid, my little tiny whiteies. I'm 100% like thinking, like, yeah, these are like wrestling underwear. Meanwhile, this little Spider-Man tiny whiteies.
I mean, but that's basically what they are. They call them trunks, though, to save face. So.
That's all I wear. And then but I think one of the real moments besides X-Pac was watching. It was a one time my mom bought the pay-per-view, one time, and I watched Mankind get thrown off the Hell in a Cell by Undertaker.
Shit. For your one time ever getting to watch a pay-per-view, that's the best fucking pay-per-view I could think about.
Yeah, I don't like
the one time moment in history that actually like the shot heard around the world of professional wrestling.
You didn't even know that was the night of that night either. You just going in it like another pay-per-view. Like I'm hyped already. Let's go. And then you get to see two legends, bro. Mm-hmm. Man.
Yeah, especially with that flimsy cage.
Yeah, those are nasty spots there. Nasty spots.
Yeah, and I don't know what it was, but just seeing that spot, I was just like, yo. I was like, yo, he's dead. I was like, this is cool, but he's dead. But then to see him just like get back up and just like shove everybody off and climb it again, I was like, this is what I want to do. Because like during his entrance video, I always noticed they always use that clip of him falling off.
Yeah, they do.
Yep.
It's in every.
Yeah, really after that.
Forever.
Yeah.
It'll always be associated with Mick Foley. And it's funny because he has said, like, of his matches in his career, he goes back and watches that match, and that's not one of his favorite matches. But it is such a big moment in the history of wrestling.
It's just because, damn, he gets thrown off, then he gets thrown through the cage.
It's crazy, dude.
Lands on the
floor.
Tooth goes through his lip or something. Like, fuck.
Okay, so kind of going
crash.
piggyback off of that too. You could that's why there's a car crash in the beginning of his entrance because Mick Foley is a car crash.
Yeah.
Now
I don't realize more.
But anyway,
I was today years old.
If there is one person you could work with in your career, kind of piggybacking off of, the thing of who inspired you to be a professional wrestler. To me, that would always be, like, who inspired me to want to be a professional wrestler, even though I never could be, was Sting, and I would want to work with him. Like, the Darby Allin situation would be a dream come true, right?
Yeah, totally.
For you, who is that one person that you could work with in your career, and that would be, like, your end-all, be-all, dream come true moment? Work against, work with, tag team, not even necessarily, it could be a legend that couldn't actually work anymore, but could be in a stable with you. I don't care, but just like...
You give me, young Vampiro.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yes, my dude.
And Vampiro is like legit one of my biggest inspirations. Like, and I know he's still doing stuff today with NWA.
Yeah.
But like if it could be me and Vampiro either tagging or 1-on-1 or even Vampiro today, like I know I don't do managers, but I would give anything even for today Vampiro to manage me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if it was a one-off or a one-day thing, whatever you want to call it. Like, that would be cool, yo. With the whole face paint, you kind of would look like you would fit in with the Gorillas of Destiny as well.
Dude, I love me Tama Tonga and all that.
That's
I would definitely love to wear Tama Tonga too. Now that I know I know he's not New Japan anymore. I know he's doing stuff closer. He wants to be like closer home to fan. But if Tama Tonga's still working, I would definitely. I would give anything.
Oh, yeah. That's interesting. There's interesting people too as well. Vampiro and X-Pac.
I like,
you
like
don't really hear many people.
You don't hear that very often,
X-Pac's name and say, "Oh, that's my dude," But I loved X-Pac.
I mean, 1 2 3 Kid was dope, dude.
Yeah, I loved all that stuff. I loved everything about it.
Yeah.
6 1 2 3 Kid, X-Pac, whatever you want to call him. He was
6-Pac.
Yeah, because I got introduced to DX X-Pac, and then I had to look back because 1 2 3 Kid, and also when he playing the old games, he had the wildest moveset. Like he would to see him do like that jumping backspin kick.
Yeah.
Like he would just do it flawlessly every time. But then of course you get hyped. Like everyone would get hyped for the Bronco Buster.
Yes. Yeah, the one man in history that could hit a Bronco Buster and get the crowd going.
Rey Mysterio did it, and
Rey
he got
Mysterio,
popped.
but I mean,
Tori Wilson did it, and she got popped.
As a guy, though, that move is that's a weird move to be doing here. Okay,
because Xbox was like, Xbox was running around. Hanging out, chopping it like 8,000 times, and it was crazy because when he would do it, he would he wouldn't even like jump. He would do like these little weird bunny hops, and he would like shift all around the ring, and then he'd go do it, and he'd be like throwing his hands down like he's like moshing, and it's just like this is a little too hype, X-Pac. Let's it's a little too hype. Like I don't think I should be this excited about this move.
Yeah, he was hype on it though. It was a good move for him. Worked wonders for his career. Not Mae Young or Fabulous Mulan. Or whoever did it. I think one of them did it.
Mae Young did it.
Yeah.
In one segment. I think it was The Rock's pie eating contest.
Oh, Lord.
With Eric Bischoff.
That was like one of those horrible moments in history.
Can you imagine just being in the back and they tell you like, "Hey, yo, you gotta take the Sparkle Buster from me, man."
Eric Bischoff, the worst villain in history, takes a Bronco Buster by Mae Young.
I thought you was gonna say a prostitute bomb.
Imagine you're just like, man, if I don't take this, I might lose my job.
Yeah, definitely. And have you ever had a moment like that where you didn't really want to do the moment, but you had to anyway?
Oh God, way too many. I've done a spot where like, don't worry, I love the guy, but it's weird because like some spots you don't want to do, but at the same time you don't want to kill the other person's gimmick.
Yeah.
But you're like, okay, well at least we can make it work. I hate dance off spots. I hate them so much. Like looking like, because I'm good. They're like, come on, man, let's have a dance off. Me with face paint who just drooled a bunch of black stuff out of my mouth. Nah, man, I ain't doing that, man. I ain't dancing. That being having a motorboat another guy.
Yeah.
My one friend Cowpoke Paul does this spot.
I know that name.
He does a spot with guys who have like wolf or dog gimmicks where he pulls the ball out and he's like, "Hey, I heard you got that dog in you," and he'll pull the ball out and they'll like act like they're about to go play fetch and all that, and he'll like go throw the ball and he'll hit them like a schoolboy or whatever move. But like it's like stuff like that. It's like, I get it's silly, I get it's your gimmick, but it's like I really, really rather not.
At the same time, it's kind of what Jim Cornette says, killing the business.
Exactly. Like I feel like there's a time and a place for funny moments. There's a time and a place for funny matches. Like there's a time and place for it, but like people should understand. Like, hey, with certain people's gimmicks, it's either you can't do it or you have to do it to a certain level that's not gonna, like hurt them. I guess their image.
Well, like,
at the same time, yeah, you're trying.
I'm thinking about like, if he was trying to do the dog gimmick with your character, right, and he threw the ball, you could have the interaction to not do the dog interaction with the ball, but still make it like an interaction between the two of you and make a story out of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like absolutely. Like I said, there's a way to do it, but there's also times where it's like, or certain instances where like certain things like that like wouldn't work.
Right.
But like, yeah, if he like say he did like I know you got that dog in you, and I know he means like, oh, you got that, you got that beast in you. Yeah. He pulled the ball. I would like, Cowpoke, I don't do a dog thing. He throws it. Now maybe I can act like my eyes are following it. He throws it. But instead of like me actually go get it, I maybe like just clothesline him in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's always ways around it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or you could just go with the flow and just be a possessed dog and just demonically trip out as a dog.
Absolutely, start foaming out the mouth.
Yep, and do the whole boogie stuff. Damn, get crazy with it, man.
Bite them, doctor. There's a promo in the back. Doctor's like, yeah, you got rabies, man.
Next time, though, you should do that, man. I think that'd be fucking great. You just like demonically, like you got to get into it, man. I really see it in my head. I just visualized it. I just visualized it, and it was good. It was creepy, man. So it would be awesome, man. You just twitch, and you get, you start acting like a dog. Whatever.
Head turns around in circles and just start foaming black shit.
Yeah.
Bite him by his tights, start dragging him out the ring.
Yeah.
Drag him under the ring.
Yeah. And they'd be like, oh, shit, I wasn't expecting all that. Crowd don't know what the fuck's going on.
I grab the mic. I guess I do got the dog in me.
Oh, man.
That's good shit, man. But, okay, so some dark characters can do funny stuff, and it's okay.
Yeah. I didn't
him.
really appreciate it when Glenn Jacobs became
unmasked and all that.
All that. And then the funny, goofy Kane. And I didn't like all that.
Yeah, because then right when he went back to being quote scary Kane, it wasn't the same.
Oh no, there was no fear there.
Because you peeled the wig back too far.
Oh yeah.
Because you could peel characters where it's where Kane lost his mask, he was still scary.
Oh,
yeah. But even if we went put the mask back on, it was okay, I'll believe it, I'll buy it still. But there's a point where you go where it's once you cross a certain line, there's no going back to it.
Yeah. Yeah, and then he could never be Kane again, and then
not in the proper way.
He was not as feared as he was, and then he just. I think to me it became even Mask Kane was more of a gimmick. You had Daniel Bryan.
I did like that Kane that segment of Kane.
That stuff was a little goofy to me too.
It had Daniel Bryan in it. So.
Yeah, I like Daniel Bryan though. I like his work. I like what he does. He's amazing.
So that's why.
Absolutely.
I'm so over.
I don't know. It's just I like Kane as Kane, and once you, like you said, once you pull the wig back, once you take the mask off, so far.
Yeah,
he is not as feared or as fearsome anymore.
Because I remember, when I was a kid, Kane was the scariest thing on the planet. I didn't cheer him, I didn't boo him, I was terrified. And the only WWE show I've ever been to, my mom took us. I'll never forget. It was when Kane was on a rampage. It was every match he would come out and just choke slam whoever was there.
Yeah, I remember.
And seeing the flames just come up in that giant boom, and hearing the song, and I was, watching on TV. I'm scared shitless. I'm like, oh my god, here comes this 7-foot dude who's Undertaker's not somewhat murdered brother. Homie can't talk, and he's just choke slamming people. I'm like, this dude's insane. I was young. I was like, people, get out of the ring. I was like a kid. I was like, you gotta get out of the ring. You gotta leave. He's
going to murder you.
He's like the Michael Myers of professional wrestling. He was to me like the Michael Myers, that type of that type of character. Because before the mask came off, it was a whole different playing field. It was oh man.
Yep.
Yeah.
When he debuted, the debut when he ripped the cage.
When he ripped the cage door off, dude.
That lives in history.
Yeah, you look at that, you're like, oh my, because because we've all been there, we all know how strong the cage door is.
Yeah.
And because that's another psychology thing they do.
Yo.
They do things that can relate to us, because everyone knows how strong those things are, and you can't just yank those off. And just to see how just rip it, you're like, oh my god. Yeah. He's strong as hell.
Even now, to watch it back, I find myself sitting on the edge of my seat. Now I can just suspend my disbelief enough, like when I was a kid. I can watch it and know that they're ridiculous and it's all gimmicked and it's all silly, and still be like, "What the fuck?" Dude?
I still swear. I still swear up and down that a lot of it that it is what I'm saying.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. I'm even when Kane later in his career, when when he wrestled Triple H and he had his mask taken away, that was a big That was a big moment. Because I was like, what do you mean he's bald?
Yeah, what
Yeah.
do you mean he was bald?
What do you mean that hair was fake?
But I don't think it was for the longest time.
The whole time.
Not the whole time. Not the whole time. There was a portion of the time when he did shave it. I think it was right before he took the mask off. But he did have real hair at one point. I've seen him without the mask. He has hair.
Yep. And then, like, watching him just turn on Rob Van Dam, like, even then I was still scared of him because then it was like the dude was, he was chained up every week in the back of a van, towel on his head, and that's when like Kane was like unhinged, like setting people on fire.
Yeah, he was setting JR on fire. So even early Unmasked Kane was good. Like May 19th, around the time See No Evil came out and all that. Like when they first unmasked him, all that shit was good shit.
Yep, the whole pregnant Lita thing where he was killing Matt Hardy.
Yeah.
I was like, he force married that woman and he killed her boyfriend. And I'm like, hey, yo, this man is a menace. I was like, this bald dude who is talking forced himself to wear all white and dragged this woman on stage and forced the priest. I was like, someone needs to put this man down.
Choke slam that priest.
Absolutely. Where's Undertaker? Do something. Your brother's bugging.
I love everything about Kane, dude.
Oh my god.
He was dope.
It set JR on fire. Who else did he kick in? He kicked into a flaming dumpster. Yeah.
What about the whole Kane and Triple H's feud when Triple H was making fun of Kane and saying that he molested or killed a woman? Or killed a woman and then molested their body and stuff on live TV. And then Triple H had, like, fake, sex with a fucking doll.
Oh, yeah, wow. But yeah, WWE was going crazy back then.
That was a weird time period. And I just checked that out, like, a couple months ago or something like that again, revisited that. And I was just like, wow, I was watching this shit as a young kid.
Yeah, but it made ratings, made you watch it, and be like, damn, what the fuck?
Yeah. What the fuck is Kane doing?
Yeah, and you had if they told you if they were like
what's he gonna do this week? Next week Kane will have an interview with JR. Oh Jesus.
And you're waiting for it. You're waiting for it. And you're just waiting for them Kane to just diabolically set someone on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, even the time where he said where he put Shane McMahon in a bucket of water, tied his feet, tied him to the post, and electrocuted his nuts.
Yep. That, or he threw him off into that trash dump thing too.
Yeah, that was the one. He set the trash dumper
on fire,
and I think kicked him off or like threw him in and then set it on fire.
Yeah, Kane's a fucking menace.
Ridiculous. It was insane.
We need to see that. We need to see you catch some motherfuckers on fire. You got to release your inner Kane.
And the crazy stuff, you'd always think like, hey, yo. Shouldn't the police be called us at a certain point?
Yeah, I know that's right. Like,
it's like, dude, get the police down there.
I know this is TV, but shouldn't people. Somebody do something?
Someone's getting murdered out here. It'd be wild. Wrestling be wild though. About every company you go to is wild. When we were watching, what was it, the NWA pay-per-view, and they had cocaine being snorted on TV.
Yeah.
It was
Sinister. Oh yeah, I remember that.
Sinister Minister.
Yeah.
Or Salwin.
Sinister Minister. Like oh man, that was insane, man. I think they lost their TV deal on that.
Yeah, I think they're strictly on the app now.
They might be under investigation too. No.
Yeah.
But
Ugh. Okay.
Well.
Yeah, that was a whole situation and a half.
Yeah.
That pay-per-view was wild, dude.
Yeah, I caught like the highlights of it all, and I was just like, I think was my buddies working on that one? I think because it was in Ohio, I think I had a couple of Ohio buddies on that one.
Oh hell yeah!
So yeah, I think like Ashton Day and CeeLo, and I think I had a couple of the friends on that show.
I know.
So, yeah, it was definitely it was a time.
Hell yeah! So what's some of your next upcoming matches that you got planned coming up, or shows, company?
Well, I am. Well, after losing my Ascension title at my home company, Rise, I'm coming back in March. I will either be confronting my one-time friend in Cowpoke Paul. I will also do a show called Pit Fight of Pitt University out in Greensburg. Mostly a charity show. I will be fighting Rev Ron Hunt for the Pit Fight Heavyweight Championship in a tables match.
Oh, hell, nice.
Yeah, and then February, I am currently getting ready. February 18th, I'm be at VCW, out West Virginia,
Victory.
and we are the faction I'm in. The Origin is fighting against all those goody two shoes at VCW in a War Games match.
Oh fuck! Right, man.
Yep, and my whole team wants to wear all white, and I'm like, guys, it's going to get crazy. You want to wear all white? But yeah, right now, just you know, there's going to be blood.
Get color on the shirts. That's
Go the opposite. Wear all white, and then wear black face paint, and use white mist.
I think people might mistake the other white stuff for something else. Like,
Yeah.
where was he storing that? How'd he get that? I was like, Noir, what were you doing before the show?
I was just doing what Kurt Angle told me. Drink milk. Well, and I had some left.
Eat your vitamins, say your prayers.
What is your wildest experience? Like, and I guess you defined the word wildest, I guess.
You mean like in ring?
Yeah, in the wrestling world, like the wildest moment you've done. Like, I guess it could be like an oh my god moment, or I guess
I would say probably one of the wilder moments was I remember we were doing like a 5 teams of 2, like a ladder, like a championships on like a pole match, and we all were doing a dive spot, and I never dove before. And crazy enough, because I could dive, I could do 450s, I could do it all, but I just choose not to. And they're putting the match together. They're like, yeah, Christian will dive, and I was like, I'm gonna do what? And they just kept going on about everyone's diving. I'm sitting there like, oh god, I gotta dive. I'm like, I don't wanna, but so I dive. I jump off the dude's back, and everyone hits their dive. And there was a guy, love him to death, named Keith Hott. He's a short, heavy guy, and we're all right there ready to catch him. Keith overshoots all of us.
Oh damn!
And you think he won it because he's like really compact sized. And Keith is like if you bundled everything positive in the universe into one person, it'd be Keith. And we're getting our holy shit chants, and we're just like we're on the floor cracking up. We're all 9 of us are laughing. We're like, Keith, all you hear is we're like, Keith, Keith, are you okay? He's like, you cocksuckers didn't catch me. That
How you gonna catch if you overshot?
Right? We're just like, yeah.
Play football.
I would say another oh my god moment was, or I would say this is the moment where I think this is one of the first times I ever got mad in wrestling.
Mm.
So, we all try to keep our composure, try to be professional.
Yeah.
I was a second match on, and this woman I was wrestling. I'm waiting for her so we could talk about the match. She can't find her nowhere. She's constantly outside smoking. It's the first time I ever worked her. I'm like, okay, dude, let's put something together. I'm having another smoke break.
Oh, wow.
The show intro starts.
Is this
We're set to match.
Is this Hollywood Haley?
No, not her.
Oh, man.
Calling them out.
I am sorry, Hollywood.
First match goes on. I'm looking at her. I'm like, oh God, we have nothing planned because you kept avoiding me all day. What's going on? You like, how many cigarettes are you smoking? Like, we gotta do something.
Oh, that's not
our first match. Yep, first match ends. I'm like, we're up. I was like, what's the finish at least? She looked at me. Like I said, never worked her before, never heard of her. She said, oh, we'll just call it out there. Meanwhile, me and her are both heels.
Wow.
So, come out, and I'm like, this is terrible. And I didn't know what to do because she thought she could lead a match. She couldn't. So I had to humble her real quick.
Mm.
Not like I didn't go beat her up or anything, but some chain wrestling, some real chain wrestling showed her like, hey, you don't know what you're doing.
Mm.
Or the time I got mad and just punched somebody in the face in the match.
My mom and dad talked about it. They were like, all this stuff is work, right? Basically all this stuff is fake, right? And I'm like, Mom, it's just like, or Dad, it's just like you go to work, Mom goes to teach, and there are coworkers that she doesn't like. There are coworkers that Dad doesn't like at work. There are coworkers that I don't like at work. You're not going to like all your coworkers. So there are going to be times when you don't get along with the people that you work with, even when you're working them in a storyline, or especially when you're working them in a storyline, because that might be the time when you butt heads the most.
And cut deep in promos.
And really cut deep on purpose in promos because you're mad at each other.
Yep. That's exactly true. But there was a time, honestly, because when you're young, you gotta listen to the vet and all that because the vet will guide you.
Yeah.
There was a vet, and I owe him so much credit. His name is Shirley Doe. This is probably legit my oh my god moment in wrestling. I'll never forget. Now Shirley Doe was old school. He hit you. He was snug, but it made you think sometimes. God damn.
Yeah.
So me and him were feuding, a straight fight feud, and we would brawl. You're at the beginning, at random points of the show, we would just come out and brawl, and he wasn't selling for me. But me being new, I didn't think anything of it, but I kind of started to notice it more and more as time went on. And Doe has been all over the place. He's been in Japan and all that. He was a Japan hardcore guy. So he wasn't selling for me. And, I'm new. So I'm like, okay, whatever. This is whatever. It's just whatever. But eventually it started to get to me that he wasn't selling. But I would sell for him. So there was these VIP, these box seats right next to the entrance ramp. And I got so mad because he just wasn't selling anything I was doing. And he was heavier than me. And I got mad. And I just said, fuck it. I grabbed him like I used to play, I used to play football. I scooped him off his feet. And my idea was I'm going to charge him through. I'm going to charge him and hit his back off this wall. I slipped. His head went through the box of the VIP seats.
Ow.
So his head's bleeding. But I didn't care because I was so mad. I grabbed him and threw him in the ring, and there's a gash on the back of his head.
Damn.
And I just started kicking it. I was kicking the shit out of that cut. And I'm so mad, and I go to the back, and I'm like, oh my god, he's gonna kill me. I'm like, oh my god, I'm dead when I come to the back when he comes back, and I'm just standing there waiting. I'm like, all right, it's over for me. I'm dead. He's like, and he says, thank you. That's what I was looking for, and I'm like, what? Because the lesson he wanted to teach me was like, when you're out like closer to the crowd and all that, you gotta lay it in more because now because they're that much closer, they can see.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. No, so Jimmy loves as well.
What, when you're closer in Japan?
I mean, like closer to the crowd, like if you're like brawling out on the floor, like you're brawling like through the cloud.
You gotta be more hardcore in general when you're at the crowd. Gotcha.
Yeah. Jimmy Love said it as well. He said, "I've taken whole ass foot in the face just to make it look real, or to make it look better, or whatever the hell, you know what I'm saying."
Because at the distance in the ring, you can make it look better, even if it's a little sloppy. But if you're right there at the crowd, you're gonna work harder. You're gonna work stiffer if you don't actually punch them in the head.
Yeah, because now they can, because like you get some leeway when there's like distance between you two. I mean, distance between like you and the crowd. But like if you're like up in the fourth, like rolling through the fourth row, like you gotta lay it in.
Yeah, and I guess that's the part of wrestling right there. If you want to get right up and personal with some people in a match like that and have one of those cool ass fucking street brawls fucking everywhere, because I love those matches. And I grew up that hardcore belt. That was the best belt in the world. That and the Intercontinental title, but
Oh, for sure.
So those type matches are sick. And I often thought about it, I was like, I know what I know, but I like to suspend my belief. So I'm that kid that says wrestling's fake, not fake or whatever. Like, he says wrestling's not fake. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm that guy. But I know what it is. But and them having to lay it in even more, like, man. So that's the part of this whole wrestling thing is So when you're watching those matches, people, and you see them out in the crowd and stuff, them motherfuckers are hitting them each other, okay? Don't you be coming at me telling me they ain't neither.
We're laying it in for you.
Laying it in. So
it's like yes, I'm letting a dude almost clip my chin. Just to make sure the $20 you spent was worth it.
Yeah, that's something else right there. Is like how much y'all put in that. I guess a lot of people won't like see or whatever. They just see grown men in tights and whatever and they don't whatever, but they don't realize how much it takes and what goes into doing professional wrestling as a whole. And like you said all the time, like the psychology in it, there's art, there's
because even like in wrestling, like the injuries do pile up. Like I know for sure they piled up on me.
Yeah. And that's something else. You can't say, oh, it's fake. Then that's what I struggle with.
This is entertainment.
Yeah,
but the hazards are real.
Exactly. And I take that to heart. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
And I respect any and all wrestlers in the world because y'all get up and do what a lot of us would like to do or have dreamed of doing or whatnot or whatever.
Yes.
Just whatever. And like, so I appreciate you and your wrestling, your wrestling career.
Thank you. I honestly do appreciate it. Thank you.
It's amazing to be able to, like, Matt and I talk about it all the time. As people, and I would call us journalists in the world of professional wrestling. We are guys, and I would say most of us who have a podcast who are not actual, famous wrestling personalities that have a podcast, would be the guys who wanted to be professional wrestlers who never got to realize the dream, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I trained a little bit, but
so really to be able to live vicariously through people who have gotten to live the dream is kind of what we have done, and we've found a way to make it work with this show for us. And I appreciate being able to live vicariously through watching the guys that are grinding on the independent scene that we can talk to and know, that are, doing what they do, and watching them grow and seeing, their growth. I
can't remember how many this makes, but I appreciate you definitely, wholeheartedly and everything, because like I don't know how many we've done so far, but we've had some really, really good ones, and so far so good. The Zombie Dragon, that was very interesting.
Yeah. This has been really awesome. Like this whole interview, like his story, his character. I love the fear thing. Like that is dope. And to me, it almost in theory reminds me of Pennywise. That Chris Noir is basically whatever you fear, essentially.
Yeah.
I love that.
And, oh, thank you. And I always try to make it like no matter your size, how tall you are, how big you are, whatever your repertoire, like whoever you are facing me, hey, you're human. You're scared of something.
Yes.
And that's something everyone has in common.
Yeah, that is true.
And that's something that everybody, like, we all bleed red, and that's something else that you can prey on, is we all have fear.
Yeah, our human side.
Our human side.
Our childlike being that is still there at all times.
Yeah. Will always be there.
Yeah, will always be there. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So.
I love it.
Yeah, me too, man. Fucking amazing. Let's see. We got anything else?
You got anything else you want to talk about?
I was gonna ask you about where the makeup originated from.
Yes.
The face paint and all that.
Oh, so the idea for the paint was I had no idea what I wanted to do at first. At first, I was like, "Oh, I'll just paint a skull," but I think what a lot of people do when they first start getting into face paint, first thing they want to do, they just want to everyone wants to make a lot of pointed, or everyone wants to make like points, like sharp edges, like. And and I was using like not good face paint. I didn't have brushes. I was using, no joke, in the early days I was just using Q-tips to paint my face. I don't know how I made it work.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I was broke back then.
Was you doing the whole body stuff too then, or is that just something that's newer?
The body. Yeah, in my early days, I was still doing Q-tips even when I was doing stuff on the body. So I would like. It was definitely a process. But as time went on, I kind of learned that the more simple the design, the better. Yeah. And I know, it's easy to paint a skull on, but I was like, well, how can I make my skull different? So I started experimenting. So like, it was once a day. I would always, even if I was going to work or coming home from work, I would practice painting and do a different design every day until I got kind of the one where I'm going at now. I learned, just a black socket around the eyes, paint the black sockets on the eyebrows, because there's one thing I was taught was you want to do black and white, because he said even if someone's in like the cheap seats, they could still make out your facial expressions because black and white.
Yeah. So,
and that's why I paint my paint on my eyebrows. So like when I'm shocked or if I'm angry, the black circle around my eye like raises or lowers or crunches in. Yeah, so it was just I learned like the more simple, the better, and like that's why I purposely focus on like my face paint stands out along with, because like I know like even when it comes to gear, I know people have like very intricate gear with gears with a lot of design on it. Yeah. But like mine's, I just wear all black kick pads, black knee pad, black trunks, because I want the focus to be on the face paint, not with what I'm wearing. Because if sometimes there'll be like there's too much going on, so the face paint definitely attracts that attention.
Yeah, there's like very few have actually been able to accomplish it. Like Great Muda, being really intricate and a lot to his gear and shit.
Oh yeah,
shit like that when he was doing the makeup or the whatever. But he was pretty much plain when he was doing the makeup. When I guess the mask, he like put more into the gear.
Yeah, and the makeup is a great part too, because there's one thing I like about it is like people try to tell me like, oh, why don't you get setting spray? Why don't you do this? And I'm like, no. They're like, oh, it's like but it can, when you fight, it will chip off during a match. And I was like, I don't want it to chip off, because Noir views the face paint as who he is. Like without it, when it's kind of like in the sense of like how Batman is.
Yeah.
When he's Bruce Wayne, that's not who he really is. But the cowl on, that's who he is.
Yep.
So, like...
I get that.
Yeah, so, like, when the match starts off, it looks great. But as the match goes on, patches of white may be missing. The black around the eye will be faded. Or, part of the paint will be... if I take, like, a flapjack or, like, a DDT, there's been prints of my face on the canvas.
Damn.
Or even, like, prints of my face on, like, guys' tights or whatnot. Or, like... there would be my makeup on like their arm or whatnot. I wanted to show that, that I was in a fight. So like, it starts off fresh and all that, but like, it's like, as the match goes on, there's, it's halfway gone, or, it's all on the guy, it's all on the canvas, it's on the floor next to a fan. And it shows that, yep.
Yeah. I never liked the guys whose gimmick makeup stayed on the whole match as much as like guys like Sting whose makeup flake. Like that's what I like, because it shows that it's battle hardened and they've been tested throughout the match. Yeah. Like I like that.
Yeah. About how long does it take you to put that on?
It used to take me like an hour, to be honest. Like, but now because I've been doing it forever, and I kind of get what I'm doing. It could take me maybe like 20 minutes to put it on.
Oh, cool. You took an hour and put it into 20 minutes. That's pretty decent right there.
Yeah. When I started to settle on like one design, it became like more simple. But sometimes it might stretch a little bit longer if I'm like, sometimes I'll have like an off day when I'm trying to put on face paint. And I'm like out here trying to redo the same line like 8 times. But yeah, when like, especially because like keeping it down to like that one simple design. So like also because like when I used to change my face paint all the time, like they still knew it was me, but there was like never a face they could grasp to it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you never have a character. The face never had a character or whatever. You never had a face with a character, and then you gradually ended up with the face.
Yeah, so when I kind of settled on one, it made the time of putting it on a whole lot better. Wow. And all that, like, because, I'll paint the eyes, because I got the mohawk, too, with the dreads. I'll paint the side of my head with it. I'll do my ears. I'll do the back of the neck. I'll do my entire neck. Even, there's been a few times I did full body.
Oh, wow. How is that different than wrestle with no pain in your body?
It is the worst, and I absolutely hate it. Because, like, first thing I do is I'm like, okay, because, like, sometimes I'll refuse to shave my chest, and I'm like, okay, this is no bueno. Because then it's like, okay, you got to ask somebody, like, hey, could you paint this? Like, hey, could you do this on my back? Because, like, I do my paint a certain way, and I see it the way I want to see it. Then I'll try to find someone who's like semi-artistic, and I'll tell them what I want, like written on me, and either they'll do it too small, which is mostly the case, or they'll kind of do like I'll be honest, like a kind of a shit job.
Yeah.
And yeah, but I can't see it, so I'm like, well, shit, I just gotta take their word.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why? And also, I'm like, why are you taking forever? You're like, why am I doing this? I'm like, if I were to do it, I'm like, I wouldn't be here all day.
Yeah, definitely.
So, and also like, doing the arms is nothing. Stomach, back. Whenever they get it all done, do the legs a little bit. But the worst part is like, putting like having to like, then your opponent wants to go over the match a little bit, and they want to touch you, and you're like, don't touch me. like not yet.
Yeah.
You get that, then you try to put your vest on, and you get to the ring, you take your jacket off, the jacket's pulled off some pain, or the mask has pulled off some of your pain. And then as the match goes on, like you've either stained the canvas, or Lord knows if your opponent is goofy and has decided to wear all white. Which I've done that. I'm tragically known for ruining people's gear. So like people when they wrestle me, they're just like, "Yo, you're wrestling Chris. You might not want to wear like
your best gear."
Yeah, don't wear your best.
Damn.
Yeah, because
a reputation of dirtying up people's gear.
Yeah, it's not. It's like I still feel bad every time. Like there was a kid named Sebastian. They wrestled out in Ohio for Mega Championship Wrestling. Sebastian wore all white, and I still have all that black stuff coming out of my mouth. First move, headlock, and I'm like, oh no, it's terrible.
Yeah, he's got on your face punch so hard. That was short.
Yeah, and I see Sebastian. I'm like, Sebastian, I'm so sorry. I did not mean. That's the first thing I did when I got to the back. I'm so sorry about your gear. I apologize. And I made the offer. I was like, if you need your top replaced, you send me an invoice. I will pay for it. At least I'm that nice about it. Like if I know it won't come out, I'll wholeheartedly offer to compensate them for it. Because I'm like, I know how that must feel.
Yeah, but it's dope for the character and all that.
Yeah,
because you're what was it again? What was the oh damn it, Scarecrow still or damn it, I got something in my eye. I got off track. But yeah. Yeah.
I like to talk about community in like these interviews and in our podcast in general, right? I just love to talk about community. And I find that as a counselor, that community is what really helps people, right? And connectedness and a sense of belonging. And the world of professional wrestling, I think, provides that sense of brotherhood, sense of belonging, community for people. Like, I think psychologically speaking, if more people had community, there would be less addiction, there would be less mental health issues, there would be pretty much all of the world problems would lessen if we were more community-based rather than so separate.
Oh, absolutely.
And so I like to talk about professional wrestling encompasses that community for people. And I love that. What is that sense of brotherhood, community? What does that mean for you in your life as, it pertains to just what does it mean, and how does it factor into your life and your, your sense of fulfillment, your sense of belonging, and
Yeah, I feel like it kind of gives you a family in a sense. Like even if family is like quote too strong of a word, but like someone to talk to, like someone who gets it. And sometimes in life that's really hard to come by. Sometimes we won't understand each other's struggles 100%, but we want someone to like somewhat have an understanding of what we're going through. And through wrestling and that brotherhood, you have someone who understands what it's like. You have someone who you can relate to when you're talking about like being on the road, being on the road, trying to diet, or trying to think of a character, or like dealing with like quote a booker or a promoter, or someone you can relate a lot of like things to, and like having someone to relate to, or someone who could listen, someone who can understand, like that helps mentally, because like not a lot of people can say that. Not a lot of people have someone they can rely on. Like even when you have a guy in wrestling, you'll have a guy say, "Oh, you have the shirt off my back." Like, how many times have we seen that? Like, I've seen that so many times in locker rooms. Like, a guy will lose a shirt. Hey, you can legitimately have the shirt off my back. You can. Hey, you're missing tights. Oh, I got you. Oh, you're missing knee pads. Oh, I got you. Like, you need a place to stay for the night, for the show. Oh, you stay at my house. Oh, your car broke down. Oh, don't worry. I'll drive from the show to come get you. Or like, hey, man, don't worry about your meal. I'll take care of that. Like, and mentally it does wonders, because you're like, hey, there's guys who are like me. And then you see what those guys who treated you in such a manner, you'll want to like pay it forward. And I think mentally it does a lot for wrestlers, because like maybe someone who had never really had anybody, and now you get into this. I know I heard a quote that said in wrestling, everybody's your biggest supporter until you're doing better than them. And sometimes that could be true, but sometimes when you do find those people that are there for you no matter what, like you want to see everyone eat. You want to see everybody succeed. And the crazy thing is, not everyone's like that. I mean, some people are game, but hey, that's just anywhere you go. But like when you do find those people who will have your back and take care of you in such a manner, and you want to like give it back to the next generation of wrestlers, that's the beauty of the brotherhood of wrestling. Someone, and I think that's like what I said before, just somebody who gets it.
Yeah.
That's what I like about wrestling.
Yeah.
I've seen that with the Pure Pro Wrestling locker room when I'd be, training and all that.
Yeah.
I'd be back there and I would chop it up with all the wrestlers and just get all this information. And it's just great to see that literally everybody is like you just said, brotherhood,
Yeah.
We move as a unit, like they move as a unit. Like, I mean, if you can't make the show, you can't make the show. Sometimes you have those moments where that there's nothing you can do about it moments. But if a wrestler's booked, they're on that show. So they're some of the hardest working people out there, I would say. I look up to guys like that put a good work ethic in, that put so much into what they're doing, and so hats off to everybody that's putting in that extra oomph into anything they're doing. That's the one key thing, is amping yourself up a little bit and creating.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not trying to hold you up too long.
Oh no, you're fine.
But I don't know if I don't know if what else we got material.
Is there anything you want to share just about that you feel like the world, like anything pressing that you feel like the world needs to know about Christian Noir, or about, professional wrestling before we sign off? And You've already booked. I guess you've already talked about your things. Did we talk about your socials? Promotion stuff?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Now, we talked about your dates. So let's do your socials and plugs that you need to do, and then we can sign off.
Oh, sure.
Hell yeah.
I am on Facebook. It is Christian Noir. Christian, as you would regularly spell it, and Noir, Noir. Instagram is Panubis, and my friends yell at me to change my Instagram name, but I'm like, I am not doing that. It is Pandubis. Same thing for my TikTok, where I post things that are somewhat wrestling related and debauchery, and Twitter, which I almost never use because if I see one more terrible meme, I'm going to lose it. I believe it's I think it's just Christian Noir. No, Panubis again on Twitter. There it is. And but I think if I have only one message to share, is one that me and Promise Braxton have always told each other, and I guess it's just towards anybody wrestling: stay ready, so you never have to get ready.
Yeah, stay ready.
I think that's just good life advice in general.
Yeah.
Be ready, so you never have to be ready, or so you never have to get ready.
Never worried about it too. Yeah. Sorry.
Yep.
I like that.
Stay ready. Stay focused. Stay hungry.
Exactly.
Make things happen, because dreams can come true. I mean, it doesn't matter, what company you're in. You're already doing said thing.
Yeah.
So. Yep, because you never know because you might be presented with an opportunity, and you don't want to be, someone don't want to be panicking last second. Oh, I'm not ready for this. I was like, hey, all the training and all the stuff you put in, hey, you're ready for this. You can handle it.
Yep.
Like, and if you're doing everything you were supposed to do, you can handle said situation.
Yeah.
Yep. That was pretty inspirational.
Be ready so you never have to get ready. I'm gonna put that. I'm gonna quote you on that, and put that on my cork board at work.
Oh, for sure. Go ahead, man.
That's a good inspirational quote. I like that.
Yeah, it's dope. Like, we love having a little inspirational moment. Because being inspired is probably one of the greatest things in the world.
Oh, absolutely.
I tell my
Thank you.
kids all the time. Your imagination is a wonderful place to keep, like something to keep. So
Yeah.
and always being creative and all that stuff. So it has been hella cool.
This has been dope.
Chilling.
Thank you so much, Christian Noir. I love being able to just talk professional wrestling with people who understand and who get it and who enjoy it, and then also people who really actually do it, and just to be able to chop it up and just chill and have this conversation. This is, I love it. Yeah. It's amazing. So thank you so much for your time.
Yep. Definitely.
This has been dope.
Thank you for that. Thank you for your time.
Thank y'all for having me. Great talking to y'all. From the serious part of the talk to the part where we all just sit back, crack up, and laugh. Thank you, and it was great talking to you too. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
You're so welcome, man. But yeah, I appreciate you a lot for coming on, because sometimes it's kind of hard to get people on for interviews and stuff. It can be very hard sometimes.
I know I'm not, and I know sometimes I'm not the easiest person to contact. With the way my job is, I work 1 week on, 1 week off, and I'm night shifts, and it's either I'm working or I'm face down sleep somewhere.
I'm just really glad we was able to make it. It happened because I know it's been about a year, and I think it's been about a year now. It's a year in the making or something like that. That I've been wanting to chop it up. I have certain people in my little thing that I gotta talk to them, and a lot of them have happened from when we started with when we got Zombie Dragon on for the first show. Oh man, it was It was a phenomenal moment. So it's another one.
This was a great interview.
Great interview.
Thank you.
So I appreciate
Again.
you wholeheartedly, man.
Awesome. Thanks again, y'all. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, man. Anytime, man.
Yeah.
Sure. Y'all take care now.
You too, buddy.
Bye.
Bye. I could have talked to him forever, man. I could have talked to him forever. He's a cool dude.
Dude, that guy's cool. He's really
cool
dope.
dude.
He is like Christian. I love his energy. I love his character.
Yeah.
I love watching his matches that we've seen. Like, I have nothing bad to say. And that guy is just dope.
Yeah. Like, yeah, he's dope as hell, man. I thought it was a funny segment when we had earlier in the show when I brought up Josh Fallon. And that was our first interview of this year. So I thought that was kind of funny.
The way he... No, we're done.
Yeah, we're just
You're
talking
good.
now, but
So now I come here all quiet.
I can...
Woo!
But yeah.
We're back with the High as Fuck Podcast. With your boys.
Matt Jackson.
And his limited edition action figure, Jedi Joe Cool.
Yep.
And this has been the interview
On the Fly,
High as Fuck
Podcast.
Podcast interview with our boy Christian Noir.
Yes, and it was a fantastic sit down. And just being able to, hear people's stories and stuff and like all that and just dive into a wrestler's mind.
I love the
And
black.
what happens.
I love the Black Mist because
Yeah.
I had been like he had talked about the Scarecrow gimmick, and Scarecrow uses
Oh, I missed.
it's not. I mean, I guess it's a mist, but it's more like the aerosol spray or whatever of the mushroom hallucinogen,
the
the
fear-
fear dust,
Fear fucking whatever it's called.
fear serum or whatever he
Yeah.
does. So that's cool.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that a lot. But we have got some other people
Other interviews.
are going to be coming up
Coming
in the
up.
near future. We're already starting off good for this year. We've already got one for the end of January that's out right now. Josh Fallon sitting down interview, which we talked for like 2 hours and
Josh
a half.
Allen.
It was a great talk with him too as well. Me and James got to talk. You got to talk to him and all that. Got to hear his story and hearing Christian's story tonight.
Yeah.
It's just fantastic, man. And just hearing that the community is that strong in professional wrestling, and it's a beautiful thing, man.
I love it.
I love it, man. So like and subscribe.
Like, comment,
Notification
subscribe,
bell.
hit that notification bell, comment, tell us what you want us to watch and review and talk about
If and you want to.
if you want to.
Yeah, you can just comment anyway.
Comment, tell us we're cool.
Share this video.
Say
everywhere
hello.
so everybody can hear Christian Noir's story from his
Wrestling.
older days, from his younger days to now. The whole process of the character. It was a beautiful fucking story, man.
I love it.
It's dope, man. So, yeah, holla at you boys, man. Subscribe now.
And this is the Eyes Folk
This
Podcast,
has
and we are
been
out
Like Elvis,
like Elvis
Presley.
Presley.
Back from the zombies.